at some point in my life, I didn't. And I started pulling them out and pulling them out. And I was walking in the woods one day, and there was this giant dandelion, just a huge specimen, probably at least a foot high. And my first response was to take it away, dig it up, take it out. And I literally laughed out loud, and I thought, this is so absurd. How did this happen? And one of my earliest childhood memories was me lying on the grass on my back very quietly and listening to the bees go from flower to flower around me, and I felt like I was in heaven. I'll never forget that. It's probably one of my earliest memories, and the bees getting so heavy with pollen and digging themselves into the dandelion flowers. And so I just wondered what happened. And I also picked hundreds of them to give to my mom. I wanted a subject that everyone knew intimately, which I think most of us had a relationship with the dandelion as children, taking them apart and building things. And I wanted them to try to tap into that and remember that. The wonder, I guess. I think we're pressured. I don't think we think. I didn't. Lawns were meant to be green and no yellow spots on them for decades. If you did, it meant you weren't doing your job to have dandelions on them, at least in North America. And I don't know why that is, because they're really quite lovely, and they have so many different purposes. So when I started studying them and realizing they were one of the 10 top herbs in China, they just have so much to offer, and they just flourish. They're not native to North America, but they feed a lot of animals, and they can feed us as well. The title 100 Sleeping Dandelions came from, it's a numbers thing. They're so prolific, and I picked 100 because I didn't have the patience to make any more than 100. And they actually close up at night, so therefore 100 sleeping dandelions. All the yellow disappears in the evening, and early morning they open up again, and this happens every night. And I find that really interesting. There's other flowers that do that, but the dandelion does that. Even when the rain is coming, they'll close up, and then you know you're going to have a rainfall. I used soft pastel on paper for the delicate drawings, because as tough a weed, herb, flower as the dandelion is, once it's picked, it completely falls apart. It doesn't last very long. And so I wanted to show the delicacy, and I could do that, the softness, different phases of the dandelion, but there is a time when it's very, very soft and vulnerable, and that's how I presented them in the drawings. And then the actual dandelion itself, the sculptures, they're more elegant, showing the stem and the flower. And I wanted no green because I wanted to study form. I wanted people to see the form more than the color. And the paintings are just, there's no quietness about them. Like the dandelion yellows are really powerful color. And once they get going, fields of them, they just become solid yellow, and it's very, very, very powerful. So the paintings are not delicate at all. They're just showing what they're like in a certain time of the year. The information that I gleaned from what I read and what I studied, I couldn't put it in my work visually, so I have little cards that you can read if you're interested. And the folklore is really, really fascinating. It goes way back. A lot of fairy stories, a lot of folklore around love, finding your love, how many children will you have when you blow on a puffball, is your lover thinking about you, all that kind of stuff, which I found really, really interesting. I hope that their connection to the dandelion is rekindled. Some people are very aware of the medicinal qualities of the dandelion, but I'm hoping they go away having another thought about and thinking about them before they pull them up.